All right, quarantine jiu-jitsu, day 5.
Day 5.
Our outfits are improving every day that goes by. We're looking a little bit more professional as we think this might be a thing. So black shorts, rash guards, let's do it. Last class, we went from the Backmount series that we originally taught in the 3rd video, I believe, into the armbar. And we broke down different finishing options when you're in that armbar position. I'll end up doing a class on just, from the armbar, different ways to finish the exact armbar that you were going for, like to force them to break their grip. But we taught you like alternate options in our last class, so you can kind of diversify your game a little bit. We're going to quickly review those. And then from today's class, the focus is going to be going into like the twister series, going into attacking the lower body from back mount, attacking the spine in back mount, shutting down our opponent's defenses. And what I want to say for this class is I want you to think about this as your plan B. I don't want you to try to build your game around this initially until you have your choke series down, the arm bar down. Try to build the fundamentals first. So when I show this stuff, I always try to show it with a word of caution because it is cool looking. It's, it catches beginners' attention a lot more. They watch it and they go like, oh, I want to learn how to do that. But I can tell you that like the same way if you were going to learn how to wrestle, you would start with, a single leg, a double leg, a high crotch takedown. If you were learning boxing, you would jab, you would cross, you would hook. That is the stuff that we've been teaching initially. Focus on that, and when you feel that you've put that into your game, now it's time to add this fancy stuff. So please, if you haven't watched our first videos, go back, study that. If you're ready for this material, let's get after it. Cool, so we'll quickly review what we taught in last class. So we went from, if we went to the arm bar from back mount, bang, here I'm in the arm bar position. Let's turn you so they can see on camera. Right, we gave you 5 different options from this position. Option number 1 was the simplest. We always are going to put the Kimura grip on our opponent. My bottom leg, I'm putting my heel into the bicep or into the crook of the arm, even sometimes on the forearm. I've even kicked on the hand. But we need to create like just a jarring motion. You don't start pulling and start kicking at the same time because then they're preparing for your pressure and they're just going to keep the squeeze. You're going to make like a jarring kick, and when I kick, I keep this bite and I clamp my knees, because if I just kick and immediately let go, he's just going to connect his hands again, and I did all that for nothing. But when I do that quick kick and I make him let go, bring your arm back, right? I'm gonna maintain that just long enough so I can turn my fingers around the top of the wrist, bring the arm back, and finish the arm bar. Okay, the second option we taught you guys was a basic form of the bicep cut. I'm not going to sit there and cover your head the whole time. Was a basic form of the bicep cut. I'm using the cutter of my wrist, pulling it into my chest like I'm trying to block the back of his arm, and I'm going to drive down on the top of his hand while I roll my wrist to try to create discomfort on Juan's arm. I might be able to finish this. Sometimes it is very tight.
Yeah, it is.
Right? But it can be difficult too. If you don't have the pressure just right or you don't have a good bicep cut, don't get frustrated if you can't get the arm on, okay? Some people will tap. Some people will just some people will just let go. So when I start to press down, he might let his hands break. And if his hands break, then just go right to your arm bar, right? If you can't get that one, I'm going to be very gentle on this, so you just tap out of the thing. If I go for this and I can't get it, I'm going to drop down to my side, putting my knee to the mat. You guys can see where that is. My knee went down. My foot is up. And I'm going to lock a triangle over his arm. As soon as I lock it, this is brutally tight. It is. Not only is it terribly tight, Juan can't pull his arm free. I don't even care if he breaks his grip at this point. I would just continue to apply pressure, and this match is going to be over. Once you commit to that one, you don't want to go for the armbar anymore. If his wrist popped out, then I would. But if you have a submission that tight, just finish the match. Okay. The 4th one that we taught was when we kicked through. So if I went to kick my foot in, or maybe I wanted to bait the person, I wanted to think I was going to do that, I'm going to allow my leg to come through the gap. Okay? People used to sit the foot really close to the head, and you can still do that. You can actually hook behind the head and grab your shin. There's many options, but I like to play it a little bit slicker. I stay on the arm, and as I rock back, and I'm going to turn him a little bit so you guys can see how this happens. as I'm here like this, I'm gonna do this slow motion. I'm gonna rock back, and as Master Perez feels the pressure on his arm, I'm gonna remove the only thing keeping him down. So I'm gonna rock back, and I'm gonna let this leg come off. As he comes up, I'm gonna keep my leg and extend to then kick up and make my triangle choke, right? I would pull the head towards the choking leg, squeeze, and the match is over, okay? Work that transition, and just remember that as he comes up, you wanna kick and extend the leg. Otherwise, you'll end up with a gap on the neck, and it'll just be a crush. Okay, I talked about that in the last video. So here, the final option we taught you guys was we're here like this. I kick my leg through, and he knows what I was going for. He refuses to come up. I maybe tried to bait him. I might have tried to hook his head and pull him up. I might have grabbed his head, and he just will not leave the mat. He knows what I'm looking to do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna maintain the Kimura grip again, always, right? I'm gonna part my foot across Juan's head. Look how I hook to the back of the neck. I keep my knee towards his chest. From this position, you're gonna see my other leg step over, but I'm gonna drop all of my hip weight. I'm gonna come like this. Once I'm in this position, if you see Juan, he's like bit between my two legs. My top arm chases after his wrist, and regardless of how he tries to hold this grip, I'm gonna use my body to extend, and it's one of the tightest arm bars you'll apply. As I start to pull, it's gonna be this submission. Okay, so we covered all 5 of those. Is there anything that, like when I just refreshed them, that you think I should address extra, or any questions that you had with me showing them yesterday? Or do you feel it's pretty well?
No, it feels pretty good, yeah, as well explained.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so like I said, these are options to finish your arm bar. There's many, many ways to just work to break someone's grip. We'll do that in another video. But those are good options that while you have one attack, you might develop a good bicep cut to be able to slap on and get your submission, or kick through to go to your triangle, or that double ace armbar. Like I said, it's one of the tightest arm bars you can apply. It's very, very tight, and once you get that foot over and you bring your top leg, I feel like you're gonna have a 98, 99% chance that fight's over.
Yep, oh yeah.
So today, we're gonna focus on attacking the lower body, as I initially said. We've got our chokes. We couldn't get him. Couldn't short choke him. Couldn't rear naked choke him. I attacked for the armbar. Maybe I couldn't get off to the armbar. Nothing seems to be working. Another reason that you'll see me go to this series is when I can't even get the person to the underhook side. So almost everything that I've taught you guys so far, if you've watched the videos, is based off the underhook side. So if I only had that stuff in my game, I'm not gonna have weapons when he ends up on the choke arm. The series that I'm gonna show today, you're gonna start from the choke arm side. So when you're on your underhook side, you're gonna work your arm trap series. You're gonna work your arm bar, all those things. When you're on the choke side, you're gonna work this series. Okay, so I'm here like this, right? So I could never get Master Perez for the rest of this lesson to go to this side. If I could, I would do everything we've already worked. Every time Master Perez is ending up on this side. So I'm gonna use the method that we showed where we're gonna lift the leg up, and we're gonna first just create a clamp. This is always gonna be step 1. If you haven't learned how to do this yet, just start with that, okay? As I have this position, my focus is I'm still always trying to attack him and attack his neck, but I can't get any of these options going. So he's defending, we're here like this, and I decide, okay, I'm gonna have to switch off. The way I do this is you'll see me have my left hand onto his arm, the same way it would be if I was on the other side. I'm gonna pull my right arm out, and as I do, I'm gonna pummel towards his lower body. I wanna bring my body down to the side. I'm gonna split it into pieces to try to make it easier to understand, because most people struggle with this part. I have the seatbelt, I control the arm, I'm gonna pull the right arm out, watch my right leg catches a lace on Master Perez's leg, and then my right arm, I'm gonna do the next step with, I'm gonna put it through this gap. Okay, go back. Here, foot goes in. Can he hip escape up? No, we're safe, right? We have our seatbelt, but I'm not gonna finish him here. So I'm gonna decide to transition. As my right leg catches his leg, my right arm comes across. I keep the left arm under, catch. I'm trying to get to this position, okay? My goal is to create this first. Once you learn, and Master Perez will not let me clear this arm, which we're gonna get to. Once you guys can get good at creating this, then I can teach the rest of it. So practice with your partner a couple times. going from this position to this position. See how I have the inside of the leg blocked and I have this arm up here? If I couldn't pummel through the arm, we'll attack the lower body. But you have to understand how to get this leg. So one last time before we go on. We're here. He drops to the side, pick the leg up, make the lock. This buys us a couple seconds. He has to try to step on the foot, right? We've talked about that escape. He's got to fight for that. The whole time I'm always threatening his neck. One motion. Rotate. I'm here and I'm here. I'm trying to cut his arm out of the equation, right? Ideally, I like to even go here, right? So that if he's not going to let go of his wrist because he feels the danger here. But if I'm leaving my arm down, it's almost out. I want the hook. I want like our elbows tied together. Now you have to understand how to create a lock on the lower body. So you don't triangle like this. I've seen a lot of wrestlers, I feel like, pin like this, but you don't want to rely on one. Because again, a high level jiu-jitsu guy, he's going to pull this knee to his chest. He's going to step on your foot. He's going to kick your foot off, and he's going to pop his hip out. Does that make sense? Anytime Master Perez can use one of his free limbs, if he's a good grappler, he's going to do that. So I have to shut down those options, right? So we're here, like this. We're here, I'm ready to go. Instead of leaving the one leg, you're going to see me hook onto my own leg. Before I make that transition, I get it with the other leg. So I'm actually holding his leg with both. From there, my right foot goes in, and I'm going to bring my knees like I'm trying to touch them together. A lot of people do this, and they have their knee open. Do you feel the gap there?
Yep.
He can still try to stomp and kick, and if he can get that to unsecure, he can then kick. Yeah, that should be what you're doing with your lower body. When I turn my knees in and clamp, it's going to be a lot harder for Master Perez. I'm going to show you what I mean. We're here, and like I said, if you did not do our beginning classes, please, this is not the video yet. Here, boom, lift up, got him, ready to go. Transition like this, okay? My knees are together. Kick the leg off.
Nope.
Super tight,
Yeah,
right?
super
So
tight.
now let's assume I didn't get around your head, right? This is the common position that people get stuck. I should be keeping this clamp. Do you see his face? But I'm not gonna just for the video. So if you see that my hook looks loose, it's only because I'm being polite to Master Perez. But normally, don't extend. That's not that bad. Turn your knees in. This is very, very tight. Make sense?
Yeah.
You feel the difference, right? So I'm gonna keep the pressure off. I'm going to show you guys a little trick that I've done forever that everybody says, oh, that won't work on me. You won't be able to do that. And I get it on a lot of people before I show you how to break this grip the proper way. Okay, so I get here. I'm fighting. I can't get Master Perez to let go. I'm going to create a frame on Master Perez's rib cage, and I'm going to start to frame in. Now, even with just this, if I dig, a lot of the times I can make someone let go just by framing their ribs. And I've had people tell me, there's no way, I won't let go from that. You will be shocked.
Yeah.
Because you can't get away from me. We're tied together, right? And I would be creating this, and I'm gonna,
Yeah, you're attacking the left.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm taking
yeah.
the point of my elbow, and because him and I can't separate, he has to keep that arm pulling in. If you open this arm, you're gonna get twisted, right?
Yep.
So since I know that, I make a wedge between us, and then I start to pull his lock. And it's incredibly painful. I actually recently did this to Dante, and he was like, oh my God, like there's no way I can hold it.
Yeah.
Some people might try to just bear with the pain. But when we can win in a simple fashion, we should always try that first. So we're here, right? I try to okay, I got it. Next time we're gonna assume that I can.
Okay.
Okay, but you feel like I'd probably get that, wouldn't I? I could wear you down with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act like I'm gonna control a baseball bat. I'm gonna go here like this. People used to do this, like two hands, but I'm gonna tell you guys, I want you to try this. I like the feeling of my elbow locked. I'm not gonna dig in anymore. But do you feel the security here?
Oh, yeah.
I'm then just gonna double up, like I'm about to swing a baseball bat. If I pull, I'm not gonna make his grip break.
No.
Right? He's gonna be strong enough to hold that. Right? If you're much stronger than your partner, you might make them let go. It's all about that jerking motion again. Hold real tight. See how I pull my entire body? I never wanna try to take force and pull it out. I'm gonna tuck my elbow down low, which ties everything to my body again. We've gone over that concept so many times now, right? like all of my body together. I don't want to put the elbow in just to be nice to Master Perez right now. But when I'm here, watch all of my body pulls. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
Soon as I do that, this arm has to stay to my chest. If I pull the grip and then I go like this to clear, he's just going to put it back to his hand, and now I don't have the attack. When I make, and I won't keep ripping your arm out, but when I get to here, I keep it squeezed to my chest so that if he tries to pull his arm back, he cannot. And my right arm just like swims over my head like this. I just want to make sure you feel,
Just like taking your
feel how it never loosens in pressure.
No, yeah.
I go here. At any point, did that get loose?
Yeah. Nope.
Too many people will be here and they'll go to like click. Yes. You've probably had people try to do twister.
Yeah.
So the goal is when you boom, you break it out, it's like I'm using this elbow as I pull his arm to make sure that his head, that his arm can't come back to his hand. From there, I'm just gonna take my hand, I'm gonna knife it under Master Perez's head, and I'm gonna turn my whole body towards him. I don't wanna be like this. I wanna act like I'm like trying to give him a hug, right? And you can use either the S grip on the head to pull, or you can rear naked choke, you can gable grip. Just don't pull the neck here. You're trying to pull like the top of the head, and it's terrible. It's a terrible way to get finished. We're only gonna do this one more time because I'm not just gonna yank on Master Perez's body and make him all stressed out. If you wanna see it again, you're gonna have to rewind the video or press play and press play again. I'm not gonna keep doing it. Okay, so one last time. Here, Master Perez was beating me. He got to the side that I didn't want to be on. I hope we're not out of camera. Let's slide that a little bit. He got to the side that I didn't want him to be on, right, guys? So from this position, pommel here. I want to make this hook. Any good grappler, he's going to connect. So I'm going to find myself like this. If I leave that 1 foot, he's already gone. Yep, boom, reset, go back. He's already gone. So as soon as I get there, I make that bite. And he'll tell you, it feels like a bite.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like I'm going to rip the leg out. I'm going to test him with the elbow. Got him. I'm telling you, I know that on video probably looks silly, but trust me, develop that. Is that terrible?
No, yeah, when you apply this one in.
Yeah, I do both same time. That's my arm, right? If I can't get that, I make, the more he pulls in, pull in tight with your hands, the more I create a wedge, and then all my body, clear, like this, in. Then we would apply the clamp. It's done. Makes sense? Twister. It's very, very tight. Anything that you can think about, anything that you could feel. You've had a lot of people try to put you in twisters. Is there any detail that you can feel that you would think that we should address beyond what we went
Yeah,
over?
what you explained about the hand, right? It's not swinging the arms around your head. It's just
Yes.
back, just like taking your shirt off, right? So yeah, that's the most important thing. That way you don't, because if you do it and turn around like this, I'm gonna grab my hand again and just work on my escape.
100%.
Yeah.
In the video, you might not be able to see how much pressure I'm keeping on the arm, but like Master Perez said, I'm keeping it squeezed as much as I can down and into me, and I'm hugging it like this, like it's very important to me. I'm holding it, and I'm just clearing it over my head with both. So I'm pulling out as I'm lifting. If I just try to like duck and put it over, if he can get his hands to connect again, I'm gonna have to restart this whole series. Okay, and if you notice, I wasn't trying to ever use my hands to pull. I tied his arm to my body. I connected my hand. I didn't leave my elbow up. If I do this, this is weak. I clamp it. So then I'm gonna kick my legs and violently rip. He'll tell you the rip is incredibly overpowering, right? And try the tip with the elbow. It's
That's
terrible.
tasty.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
When you first feel it, you're like, I don't know. And as soon as I start levering down, you can't escape from me. So I keep all of that leverage point right on your lats, or I'll attack the small ribs. And it's just, it's an excruciating position that most, honestly, maybe some really tough people that you train with might not let their grip break, but then you're just going to do the second one. Okay, if I'm going to go there, I'm going to go right to the second one.
Yeah.
but you can't escape. You're stuck. And I'm just digging away at your rib cage, at your arms. It's almost worth trying to take the chance to get your arm out just to stop the pain.
Yep.
All right. I teach a lot of jiu-jitsu that has some pain involved, but that's good for you. All right. So let's look now. What happens when we can't get the arm initially, or maybe we don't even get the right arm on the inside, because that'll happen. Then we have to attack the lower body. So I'm going to show a calf slice and a couple other variations. All right. So same setup for you guys. We're here, right? We still go like this. Let's slide down just to make sure. We still go like this. It's the exact same start. Maybe when I first make the switch, I couldn't even get this arm. You see, like maybe we end up like this, and right now I don't have Master Perez's arm. If I get here, I want you guys to do what we did last time. If you can get this arm through, you're gonna just do the ones that we just saw. But sometimes you might not get that. So one of the simplest things you can do is you're gonna reach up at the leg, and I'm not gonna control by his hip. I'm gonna try to open Master Perez's legs. Okay? This is a banana split finish, but it's not even about getting the finish. Usually as soon as you attack somebody's leg and you start to pull, they'll bring their arms into the fight to try to like break my grip. Yep. And look what I just did. Most of the time, if I transition here and for some reason I just didn't catch the arm, like he clamped it down too fast, I just immediately start to attack like this. Yep. And then I go like this. Now I'm immediately on the arm. Does that make sense? Let's show that in slow motion. Because right now, I have no upper body control.
Nope.
So I scoop his knee, and you'll actually see me create a lever again, and I start to pull. Yeah, he's like, no, get off my leg. But then I just need that elbow hook. If I can get this, now I have everything that we initially wanted to do. Make sense? So we're baiting the person. I was here, right? I came over, and I didn't get that arm in. Or maybe I only got my hand. It's not enough control. Up, look how I hook it. I don't want to grab like this, right? I want to try to catch his knee, and I try to frame into him. If he doesn't react right away, I can just pull, and Master Perez is incredibly flexible. Most people will be screaming before they get that far. But as soon as I go there, he's not going to let me. He's going to reach up to stop it. And now we have what we needed, and we're going to finish with our twister. Okay, and again, my legs aren't fully clamped up, but it's just for his sake. Okay, one last time. You guys are going to try this one. Boom. Like this. Here. Remember, don't forget to still threaten their neck. Okay, we want to go twister series. Here. Oh, look, I didn't get the arm. Here. I'll go right up, start to pull. Here. And then I can finish. Right? I didn't stress this enough last time. Once you clear their arm, just stay on the shoulder. If I create a gap, he could technically, yeah. I didn't mention that enough last time. He could pummel. But if you stay on the shoulder, the arm is stuck. No matter how he tries to fight this arm, he's stuck. Right? And I used to have, I'm going to shout out Alicia Zapatilla. She would actually pin her head to the ground as hard as she could so that it would be difficult for me to go over the head. I have a simple solution for that, guys. I just rock back. See how his head lifted up? And I just catch the head. Bang. And there's the finish. So if you find that the person is driving their head down and you're like having trouble getting there, I just pull them up and then I just go right back under and then I can finish the submission. Make sense? Okay, so now let's talk about the lower body attacks. I wanted to twist her. I couldn't twist her. Or maybe I got it in, I couldn't get their grip to break. I was trying to rip, I couldn't get that to work, so I attacked the lower body. I wanted the banana split, they weren't tapping. I tried to use it just to get them to bring their arms back. Still failing on me. That's when I go into my calf slice series, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys a calf slice that most people know, which is just using your arms to pull. And I'm gonna show you a calf slice that I don't see done very often. It's very, very sneaky, okay? So here we go. Like this, same thing. Boom. You guys should, if you're doing this video with us, you should be doing the same series just over and over and over. Transition, I wanted to go for this. Okay, I can't get it. Go for the arm. Man, he's stopping everything. He's winning these battles. I'm gonna decide to switch to the calf slice. Just make sure I can see. When you decide you're gonna switch to the calf slice, it's important to know that as you square up behind someone, you're actually almost putting them in a position of advantage. So when I change the calf slice, I only like to go here. If I go further, I'm going to show you what I mean. Here, and Master Perez is able to kick, he's actually able to start scrambling and trying to get to my back, right? It's almost like an arm drag. When you arm drag someone, they can arm drag you. So I'm going to really point out and stress that I don't want you guys to circle all the way around. I want you to stay off to the side. I'm here, up, this, I can't get it, this, I can't. He's very good. I'm only going to turn to right here. I don't want this, no. See how we're almost dead even? His leg has control of my leg has control of his leg. It's whoever wins the kick battle. If I stay over here, I have everything that I need, but I'm not taking the risk of getting my back taken. Okay? I'm going to reach up and I'm going to try to grab the end of Master Perez's foot. I don't want to hold his shin, but you don't need to hold like some people try to grab here. You don't have to go there either. Just get a nice grip on the foot. The key to a calf slice, if you guys can look, is I'm going to turn my shin so it's facing the back of his calf. If I leave my foot like this, you feel the difference?
Yeah.
It's because my tibia, the bone of my shin, is not on the tendons now. Yeah. When I turn that foot,
it's immediately tight.
It's super. All I didn't change his foot position. I'll look.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is my foot standing on my other foot? To make sure that my foot doesn't slide down. A lot of times people will leave this here and they'll go to pull. If this foot shifts up, I'm going to lose pressure, or he might kick me, right? To try to turn my body. When I step on it, it's got it in the same position. From there, I'm just going to sit up and finish like this, or most of the time I finish like this. I stay on this side because I won't pull anymore. No. But then I still have the twister option and I could still look to attack this arm. If I go here, I really committed that it's my only choice. I like to just finish here. Like this, start to pull, finish. Make sense? I'm going to show you guys one more. Right? I guess I should do the calf slice one more time because that was my first.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll show you one more submission. So here, boom, like this, transition, here. This guy's very good. I can't seem to get anything. He's shutting my options down, right? Look at my knee. When I decide to go for a calf slice, you'll see me open my knee. If I'm here, look how it puts the softer spot of my shin. Do you feel the difference? I want to go here, so I'm almost waiting for it. I'm going to turn, catch. Now I've got it. I got exactly what I need. Look at my shin. Roll. Act like you're going to point your toes where their knee is located. Like this. Start to pull. Got the finish. Right? Why do I not use two? I don't like how it puts me behind them. I like to finish off to the side still. And there's more than enough pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? From this position, I'm just controlling the foot. And let's say he started to like kick my hand off and I started to lose it. Don't forget, you can just go right back. Attack the twister. Go back to the leg. Go here. He tries to defend the banana. Go back to the arm. Oh, switch. Go here. It's all just a series together. It all flows exactly like our other series did. The final one I'm going to show you guys, I don't even have to reset, is one that I figured out a long time ago that's super sneaky. I'll get my foot in position, and I'll continue acting like I want an upper body attack. So me and Master Perez are fighting over the arms, because if I get my arm cleared, you're going to lose, right? So whether I have this arm in or not, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to turn my hip, and I'm going to bring my inside foot through this gap. You guys see what I did there? I'm here.
I'm already imagining.
You feel it? So I'm here. I turn my hip, and I kick through the gap. Once I kick through the gap, I have a calf slice with my lower body. Yeah, and that's bad. That's only a little bit of the pressure I can generate. I'm pulling with my hamstring and I got the submission.
Yeah.
And not only do I have the submission there, I could still technically continue to attack his upper body. It's too much.
Yep.
Okay, so it's a calf slice with your lower body only. You could be fighting upper body and making them think you're about to submit them and then finish them with just your legs. This is a trick that I love to have up my sleeve. Okay, so final time. Bang. Master Perez is in for it. It's just a rough class today. Right here, boom, I transition. I'm like looking. Okay, maybe you guys see that grip I made? I don't even want a calf slice. This doesn't even really say calf slice. You know what I mean? If I start pulling like this, Master Perez knows, okay, he wants the calf slice, right? Oh, yeah. This grip is much harder for him to break. You see the difference when you kick this hand?
Yeah.
Versus the normal calf slice grip? If you get that, I'm going to lose it.
Yep.
But I just make a grip here, and I make him think that I don't want it. I step my hip out, I kick my foot through the gap, and I make the lock. And Master Prez will tell you, it's brutal. It's extremely tight, and we still have our other options. If you make that lock and you don't want that, you can go right back to your twist. You can go to your banana split. You can go to your traditional calf slice. But like I said, when I bring my hand on the outside, I find myself more vulnerable to two things. One, to getting my grip broken. And like I said, if I end up behind them, it gives you a scramble chance to try to take control of me. Mm-hmm. I don't really like jiu-jitsu where me going for an attack gives my opponent some pretty good options. I would rather play jiu-jitsu that pretty much all the cards are stacked against you, you know? Like, I would rather play like a slow death than go for that, for you to only kick your leg through, take my back, and then I get finished. Make sense? Do you have any questions based on what you felt or based on what you saw, or things that you think we should point out?
Very important when you switch to that triangle, how do you call it? The triangle?
Yeah, the triangle. I mean, it's kind of like a triangle, but it's just a grapevine, really.
But then you turn your tibias in my leg, and it just feels like it's going to. And also, when you finish the last one, I felt like my one of the MCL was just like about to rip.
What Master Perez is saying is the placement of my shin on both of these is the reason it's so bad. Yeah. And that's why every time I even hit the grapevine, people are like, your grapevine hurts so much. Yeah. It's because most people, I feel like when they grapevine, they just make sure their feet get in the right position. And a lot of times the soft spots of their shin are what's putting the pressure. I always make sure that where I would kick, like if I was doing Muay Thai, where I would kick with my shin, I always put that part of my shin into the delicate spots, into the inside of the knee tendon, into the back of the leg, even off the initial grip. Like it, from when you guys are at home, you probably can't tell, but even this grip right there feels terrible. Yeah. Master Perez will tell you, like, this is how most people lock down. See how my shin is turned? It's the even if I stretch, it's the soft spot. Do you feel the difference? Yep. I'm gonna try to always have my shin creating the pressure on you. So when I then go here, and this is how it should feel, there's so much force on the back of your leg because there's no give. Now when I'm attacking you here, I'm attacking you here, I'm kicking through, everything is just so much worse. That's a great point. It is. Yeah, if your partner is not going, right, try to work on the placements of your shin. And that's the stuff that I feel like it's not really taught. It's not that it's like, that's not how I learned the technique, was that my shin had to be here. You pick up on those things just from time spent grappling. Yeah. You recognize that if my foot turns direction, it's significantly more painful for my partner. Yeah. So don't spend too much time on it where you're like, I can't get that right. But know that there's a purpose for why I'm doing that. I'm always making all my little rotations and movements have a reason behind them, right? So when you practice this at home, ask your partner what it feels like, because you could see Master Perez's face as soon as I would make the lock correctly. It feels like it's ripping on your leg, right? So just like when our short choke and all the other things that we've taught in our series, each thing should feel pretty overwhelming. That's how we create jiu-jitsu that's very, very hard to stop. Every step of the way. He didn't want to let go when I created the frame on his body. I made him. He didn't want to break his grip when I rip and pull. I made him. He didn't want to, have to tap from the calf slice. I made him. Each little step is what matters.
Yep. And I'm not sure if anybody that's watching the video is going to see the video roll with you. I mean, sometimes you roll like, okay, I'm gonna let him do this, get him moved to this this spot, but sometimes if you want to finish somebody, it's time. You just feel the difference how on you grip, on the when you get the
squeeze, seatbelt, everything.
Seatbelt and everything. If you do every single thing right, it's just amazing how much torque in my knee when you did the twister, torque on my upper body, in my ribs, right on my upper body, my neck. It was the whole thing.
Every aspect of control is
Working
so
at the
tight.
same time. Yeah, it was super tight.
So if you notice, we're touching on the same theories.
Yeah.
In a lot of the other positions we would talk about, remember we were saying in the back mount,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, why does your grip feel
Yeah.
strong? It's not that I'm just using my arm. I'm trying to find out every single part of my body. Can it do anything to create an advantage? If my knee turns this direction, does it make it tighter or looser, or does it do nothing? If I squeeze with my lats and back, do I become stronger, or do I lose pressure because I'm squeezing incorrectly? When you're doing your jiu-jitsu, you should be trying to have a why behind each movement.
Yeah.
You should know, why did I do what I just did? If you can think like that, you'll compound your strength. That's what Master Perez is referring to right now, is high-level grapplers, they feel so dominant because they're controlling you with every aspect that they can. It's not their arm that's holding you or their leg. Their entire body has one job, and it's focused on dismantling you in whatever position that you're in.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah, good.
Okay, so the last thing we're going to touch on real quick is a little bit of defense. Every single time we've gone over any offense, I like to show a little bit of defensive theory too, so you're just not sitting there, you know, getting wrecked. All I'll show today, to keep it really, really simple, because I feel like we showed quite a high-level class. If you're not a high-level guy, this is probably not the start for you. I wouldn't worry about this video yet. I would come back to this when you have good grappling experience. But I like to always show a little bit of defense too. So one thing that we're going to start with is we're going to learn the concept of, whenever someone goes to calf slice you, what I was talking about, where if your knee can control their knee, you can move them. And if they have the control on your knee, they can move you. Okay, so here's like a basic drill. So let's say we'll start the same way just to make it make sense. We go here like this, same thing, bang, we get here. Notice right now, my shin is controlling the back of Juan's knee, right? For every degree that my knee gets closer to Juan's, this would be almost an even position. If Juan and I were to be here, this is a dead even position. If you look at us, we're in the exact same thing. His knee can manipulate my knee. Don't flip me all the way over, Juan, but kick a little bit this direction. See how I start to roll? If I kick the same way Juan starts to roll, go ahead, Juan, kick. Makes sense? So if I kick this through, I would take Juan's back. If Juan kicked this through, he would take my back. Go ahead, you can kick it a little bit more. So when you kick, go ahead and turn me a little bit. Yep, here, and then I roll back through. I kick, I take you. If you want to work with your partners, if you can learn the feel of this drill, whoever controls the knee controls the position. So as Master Perez was coming around, if he can get his foot to manipulate my leg and he can kick his leg out, so kick your leg straight, it forces me to be the one that moves, right? And if I rewound that same thing you just saw, right? If I control his knee, he's the one that moves. You see? So if Master Perez tries to kick his leg now, I control the knee. Kick towards me, Juan. The more he kicks, it's ineffective. If we were here, it's a 50-50 battle. If he kicks effectively, it might turn me, but if I kick effectively, it might turn him. If Master Perez can hip out a little bit and control the back of my knee, and now he kicks, for sure, he's gonna win the battle. So in the beginning, when you're learning these transitions, I would say you should start by realizing what is your objective. And anytime somebody's going into like the truck series, the twister series, they're trying to control your knee. If you can defeat that job or move the control off your knee, higher onto your calf, you can square your knee up so that it's almost the same advantage. If you can hip out like Master Perez did to get your heel behind the knee, you become the one in control. Because the position is almost the same. It's like an arm drag. I mentioned that before. If I arm drag Master Perez, right? An arm drag in itself is an arm drag for the opponent. He is an arm drag. Just because I've got him first, it's the same exact thing for Master Perez. The only way it's not is if he doesn't know that and he doesn't do anything with his arm. So go to your knees real quick so they can see this. If I was to drag and Master Perez doesn't understand an arm drag and does nothing with his hand, then of course I win. But if Master Perez understands that by me making this grip, look at, so as I go to pull him, he can just pull me and then he has the advantage. So even though I initiated this situation, he can turn it to be his, right? It's the exact same way with leg control. So we were grappling and I was like, arm drag, and I go to pull and Master Perez pulls. He pulls me, boom, now my back's exposed. It's the same concept with your knee control. It would look ridiculous if you were to drill it this way, but you guys, you can just lay on your back. Yep, we'll just go right to it, I guess. Here like this, if you were to practice drilling like this, you could learn this control. If you watch it, as I turn and put my knee in, I'm winning. Juan, you do the same thing, hip out, no, hip and bring your heel to the inside. You want to get to here, like this. So every time you do your position, you're gonna go here, and I'll go back to the middle. Watch me, I turn, I have knee control. We go back, Juan turns, he has knee control. We go back, I have knee control, Juan, he has knee control. If Juan kicks hard from knee control, kick, boom, now all of a sudden I have my back taken. If we rewound that situation, right, so we're knee to knee, and I control his knee, right now I have control, watch this, I kick, I have his back. I can go right into everything I learned today, right? So before you guys worry about, well, I don't even want to go into that lesson yet, but let's just say when you're first learning the lower body control, you want to recognize that by someone entangling your leg in that fashion, you're very close to controlling that position yourself. If you can get the control in the knee or get your heel behind their knee, and think about it that simple. If you can get your heel behind the knee, you're going to win that scramble situation. If they're able to dominate the knee, you're going to have to go fully defensive. You're going to have to defend with the upper body. You're going to have to step on hooks like we talked about. You're going to have to do other things to try to manipulate your foot free. What else should I show today? I don't want to drag this lesson too long, but I think that's pretty good. This is a very high level class.
It is, yeah.
Like I said, this is only, I think, our 5th day of quarantine jiu-jitsu. And I didn't even want to teach this class yet, but we're on Backmount as a topic, and we're trying to cover as much material as we can in each position, and then we're going to turn this into other segments of the game. So if you're watching this and you're confused and it was too much for you, do the other Backmount classes first. And not only do those classes, master those classes. Be able to say to me or Master Perez or whoever is your jiu-jitsu instructor, like, I have all my basics. I have my short choke, my rear naked choke, my arm bar, my back mount control, my transitions off the arm bar. Once you have those, come back to this lesson. Do the twister with us and let's work on it. In our next class, we're going to show ways to get to the twister. And then we're also going to show ways to get to the back. And then we're going to go on to a new position. So thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. I hope you're enjoying these videos. It's a pleasure for us to make them. And like I said, it's all in the details. The more you guys can try to see the little things that separate high-level grapplers from just making a technique look good, the more successful that you'll be. So thank you guys so much. Scorpion Fighting System, Brighton, Michigan, the Michigan Institute of Athletics. I'm James Gray. This is Master Juan Perez. He's the Taekwondo instructor here. He runs several fitness programs. If you want to come change your life through martial arts, we're your people. Come see us. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.